Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com. Welcome to the podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today I have good fortune to be joined by Jeff MacPherson from XAgency AI. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us.
No, thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. So let's go back in time a little bit. How did XAgency AI get started?
I've been in the AI and chatbot space for quite a few years. We developed the first chatbot for Instagram direct messaging. Started working with some of the largest names in the world at the time. Unfortunately, we ended up losing that company to Facebook, which is a kind of a cool story. But over the years, it continued to build out our technologies and our development team, where it's kind of transitioned us into where we are now in this whole AI world that we're all a part of.
Awesome. Well, I would probably love to have a separate conversation about how you lost the company to Facebook. I have two stories of getting a cease and desist letter from the Zuckerberg gods that we could probably share at another time.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the idea for the first, because obviously as we're recording this now, chatbots are an industry into themselves, and AI was around before ChatGPT, but most of the world learned about it when, ChatGPT took off and picked up 100 million users in, days.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the idea for an Instagram-based chatbot before anybody else? That's awesome.
I mean, every business that I've been a part of, it's kind of led into the next one. So it's like continuing to solve my own problems. So I was in e-commerce originally, and I was doing a lot of organic marketing, influencer marketing, and partnerships through Instagram, through shout out suits, stuff like this. And I noticed just the influx of, messages that I was getting was just absurd. I ended up selling that company off, and it's like, well, if I ran into these issues, there's got to be other people who are running into these issues as well. So that's where I hired our first developer, who's still working with us today, which is amazing. It's over 5 years working together, and just kind of solving my own problems. At this time, this is where companies like ManyChat and ChatFuel, they were running this stuff on Facebook. So my goal was, if I build this on Instagram, that's very similar to ones that they already allow on Facebook, and then WhatsApp was another one. My hope was that Instagram would partner with us, buy us, all that fun stuff, because I knew it was coming. And that's kind of how it transitioned into, building it really. We had, like I was saying, it's like over 500 million followers on the platform at the time. We built a really big portfolio on the platform as well. It was a lot of fun. It was a great learning experience, but it just kind of positioned ourselves like seeing where people are doing it similar on other platforms. And then we just put our experience together and did it on Instagram.
Well, that is awesome. And then because again, as you mentioned, like ManyChat wasn't there yet. So you had to custom build technology and code like that didn't exist, right?
Yeah, essentially what we were like, the conversation, what happened, it was true. We were early and we were doing things third party, which Facebook doesn't like. But again, we were trying to really position it and set everything up and protect the users. When that API, that connection, that partnership with Facebook came, we were hoping that we could just directly plug into the official. And that's where we kind of ran into the issues with them. It's like you did things that were kind of not right. So you're not going to be allowed to continue to build.
Gotta love it. Now, how did XAgency evolve out of that?
So my business partner, Matt Farmer AI as well on all social platforms. He actually ran all the paid media for my first software company. So we built that relationship beforehand. He ended up selling out of his marketing agency late last year and dove into promoting new AI tools every single day. So again, really educating on the technologies, the tools and stuff like that. And we just randomly connected again, and we were talking about what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish, and just the overlap of with my experience in building softwares and his experience on keeping up with the AI technologies. We're just like, we might as well just come together, bring the teams together and be able to scale it and scale it properly. So, I mean, it just kind of worked out. It's just past relationships. We had a good reputation together. We've worked together at a small company and growing it into a larger one. So, I mean, it kind of just worked out.
Well, that is awesome. Then, which brings us to the present day. What does XAgency AI do?
um, we plan, strategize, and implement AI for businesses. When we go to events, or we do some training, or we meet people just through the industry, the big thing that we've noticed is nobody knows where to start and nobody knows what to do really. Like a lot of people are using ChatGPT and they're helping themselves and they're using these tools, which is fantastic, but nobody knows the extent of the growth side of actually implementing it into your business so it runs and runs on your data and information that comes from your business. And that's where we've positioned ourselves. We're a part automation, part AI agency. So a company comes to us and we build out a 90-day plan for them where it's like it's specific to them. So where are their redundancies? Where can they be more productive? Where can they be more efficient? And we look into our technology stacks and figure out a way that we can connect through automation, so their CRM systems, through their call centers, whatever it may be. Customer support's another really big one. And then from there, it's like we just connect the automations through there and train the data and the information that they've provided to us.
Okay, so we got to unpack that because as you probably hear every single day, there are a ton of misconceptions when it comes to AI. So let's back up just a second and try and meet people a little bit closer to where they are and
Yep.
talk about, so what are some of the biggest misconceptions that you hear like every day when talking to businesses who are challenged trying to figure out what is all this AI stuff? How can I actually use it? Okay, I use ChatGPT and it gave me the spoiler of a movie. Like, how do I, or I'm using it to help me with copywriting at a basic level. How do I really transform my business with that? So what are some of the misconceptions you hear about that?
But I mean, we've spoke before, and the methodology or like our metaphor analogy is like our company logo, the butterfly that's on my hat and on my sweater here. It's we try and break it down into 4 phases, and the 4 phases of a butterfly. So you've got your egg phase, you've got your cocoon, you've got your caterpillar, and you've got your butterfly. And that's kind of how we try and structure it for people. So people who know of these phases, it's like the butterfly would be your fulfillment and your demand in your actual company itself. So you've got a product, you've got a service, and that's what you're selling. Your cocoon phase is your prompting. So actually speaking to something like ChatGPT and then using tools like ChatGPT to help you with the fulfillment and the demand side. Where people kind of get lost and don't really understand the technology and the power of what AI can really do is every business collects information, whether it's customer service, whether it's emails, whether it's sales, whether it's team recordings. All this stuff is data that can train AI and train AI better and faster. So what we do is when we work with the business is like we collect all that data from the business and we train AI in these tools specifically on a company's information. So that's where the caterpillar phase comes in. It's like the data flow and the automation. So again, connecting it through your CRMs, connecting it through your sales funnels, all that fun stuff, and then centralizing it in the egg phase, which is your what they call a vector database. So all the AI tools, once they're plugged into it and they're training on your data, it continues to learn on your data and continues to get better over time, and doesn't run on everybody else's information like ChatGPT does. So it's very specific for your company. It's continued to be refined, and we continue to work with the businesses to implement more and more of their data sets, so we can actually implement more tools.
That's awesome. So when I think business owners and entrepreneurs, we get hung up. So even if we're playing with it a little bit, we don't know what we don't know. And we might even have blinders on in terms of what we've always done. And we might not necessarily be able to see what the real potential of all of this is. You've had some incredible results. Can you give us just, like a couple of use cases of how implementing this in a straightforward kind of visionary way has been able to transform some of the companies you've worked with?
One of the lowest hanging fruits that we see is that customer support is really dealing with, again, your customers, your people who are paying you money in the business. It's the best place to actually collect feedback, to be able to create social media content, be able to train in your internal team, to be able to build out your sales funnels, all that fun stuff. So, I mean, a simple example is when we start working with the client, we really make sure that we get the customer support side set up properly. We're able to create social media content. So if somebody comes to the website and types through the AI chatbot, it's whatever the question may be, we can take that question and turn it into social media content, because it's just creating that based on the customer's feedback. And that's a really good example in terms of the power of connecting different pillars in your business. So we can connect customer support to content creation, what actually helps with sales, and they all flow together based on one customer's question or feedback that you can get from a simple widget on your website. There's other things that we get into. It's like we're working with some companies on actually grading their leads, so like their email lists or their phone numbers or emails and stuff like this, and actually grading the quality of the leads that come through to help with sales teams and their flow through their sales, to replace the fact of calling everybody, let's say, and like actually creating a priority list to these people as well, or just removing people from the list completely. And it's more of a lead grader, which is extremely cool and extremely powerful for businesses.
So you're talking about, forgive the traditional term, like lead scoring on steroids.
Correct. Yeah. And it continues to learn. So the more, so like if you go through 100 leads, 1,000 leads, once the AI understands it's like what a perfect lead is for you, it'll continue to grade these leads faster and better quality, as well as it will come up with nuances that a human may not even be able to think of. So-and-so is a better lead because of X, Y, and Z. Like it's so it understands human behavior better than we do in real time. And then with it as well, which is super powerful, is the real-time translation. So it's like it's allowing businesses to get into different markets without having to spend a boatload of money on getting into different markets. So if most people work in North America and you want to expand into Asia, or you want to expand into Europe, or into a Spanish community, whatever it may be, is like having the ability to use AI and use these systems to translate your whole business for you can now open up more of the demand factor, so to help your business scale.
That makes a lot of sense. So when someone asks you, hey, what can AI do for my business? What's your like one sentence elevator pitch?
I mean, that's a good question and tough one at the same time. I mean, like we look at AI as a co-pilot. So it's AI is here to enhance your business and become a co-pilot, so you can grow it linearly through, again, the fulfillment and the demand side. And that's where we try and position it. Like I was saying earlier, it's like people have a good product or a service. All we need to do is create the automations and set up the AI so it learns on your business. And then the growth is exponential, because you don't necessarily need to hire more people. It's like you can train your team to use these co-pilots using AI. So when you're spending more money on marketing, however that may be, the fulfillment side is taken care of, and your team understands how to grow it within their departments.
So AI can help me grow my business. It can help me increase my sales. It can help me increase my conversion. It can help me decrease my costs and reduce my reliance on people. And it can help me work less and make more money.
Yeah, and I mean, exactly. And I think it's really cool. I think there's definitely a stigma of like people are worried about it coming and taking their jobs. I mean, there's going to be an aspect in time where AI is going to be able to do a lot of the things that we do day to day in our businesses, but right now it's not fully autonomous for most businesses. So again, you looking at it as a co-pilot and an enhancement, we're going to see a lot of solopreneurs making these $100 million businesses using AI and these solutions. We just believe like people's expertises and how they actually work with businesses is going to change and change for the better. And then most importantly, it's like my business partner, Matt, he's got 5 kids. It's giving him time back with his family as well. Instead of working for your business, and working, I mean, the AI is essentially that new work for your business. So it can give you time back with your friends, your loved ones, your family, which is, I mean, a really good side to be a part of.
Awesome. Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
It's new every single day. Like we wake up every single day. It's like we try and build everything in 90-day plans, as you know. Technology moves too quick. We're not sure what's actually gonna happen in 90 days, 6 months, or a year. So the unknown factor, I think, is really cool as well. I mean, it comes with stress and it comes with risk, but I mean, it's part of the business, and this is kind of why I think we're all entrepreneurs through an aspect. We fall in love with that chase. And with our chase, it's like we don't really know what's going to come next in the next month, 90 days to a year, which is really cool.
How does a company know if they need you? Who's a good fit?
I mean, if you're not using AI in your business, I mean, you need us. There's a lot of things that you can implement by yourself. And one of the feedbacks or questions that we get is, where do I start? It's just start anywhere. Just start utilizing any sort of AI tool. Again, even if it's ChatGPT, is the best way. And then from there, it's like continue to look at where you have the redundancies. That's the big one. And customer support's a really simple one for people to kind of see. And if you can use AI to start answering all your customers' questions and stuff like that, it's going to give you time back in different places where you can start focusing on the business and the growth side again.
Awesome. Well, we greatly appreciate your time. We know it is incredibly valuable. For our folks who are listening or watching who might be a good fit, who might be interested in learning how to get AI implemented in their business for them from a company that knows what the heck they're doing, where is the best place for them to reach you?
So I mean, head to our website, XAgency.ai. You can book a call in with our team, and I mean, we can look into having the conversations a little bit more in depth to kind of what we spoke about today, and trying to unlock where we believe AI can help the most in your business specifically. But that's the best place for people to find us, is just on our website.
Awesome. Well, then this has been Seth Greene with Jeff MacPherson from XAgency.ai. Jeff, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Seth.
Thanks everybody for watching or listening. We will talk to you or see you next time.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.